Hello there, everybody. It has been a while, but we're back with an Outside the Blocks, and more importantly, with Minecraft Middle-earth. Now, it's been a while since we've been on this server, and a lot has happened, a lot has changed, and all of it is really impressive. So, enough of me going on. Guys, show me around. Blow my mind.
Alright, well, my name is Ryan, and we've got a team of some of our staff members here representing our community. And we're actually starting off here in the Anduin, which is the largest river in Middle-earth. And if we're going to follow this river down here, we will get to the Argonath statues, and that can be a great way to start off the tour. So if you guys want to follow me down here, we should be there in no time. This river actually was dug out by hand. And then to give it a more realistic feel, we used some world editing tools.
Oh, come
such
on.
As Voxel.
Look at that. That's badass.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you've actually loaded in the Argonath statues yet, but once you see them, you'll definitely get quite a sight here. Yeah, so we can park our boats here or whatever. This would be, one of these was done, the left one was done by a staff member, and the right one was actually done on a build day by some members of the community. And all in all, the one that was done by the community was done in about a day, and it was quite a few people took part.
Wait, these are, again, just so people are aware, you didn't, use programs to make these. These are all by hand.
The left one was done by staff members, and I'm not exactly sure the method that was used, but it was kind of a template for how the second one was going to be built by the community. So one of them was definitely built completely by hand, and the other one was, I believe, for the most part, done by hand. I mean, you can't really get the details that we used for certain elements by
The one on the left was basically just started as a giant cube, and then it was kind of carved and shaped. And then the one on the right was built entirely by hand.
I believe the one on the right, actually, for the most part, if you were to actually go inside it, I think you'd see all the interior work of how people actually built it for those that weren't able to fly and stuff like that. One of the newer additions on the server is the ability for most people to use the creative fly mod, as well as being able to contribute through building while using that.
Can we go inside? Can we actually go inside here and check it out?
Well, we certainly can. To be honest, I'm not sure if it is still hollow, but if it is, we can certainly take a look.
Oh,
I think we filled it up. Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Oh, I would have liked to see how people built it from the inside, because that's an impressive feat. With what was it, Moria?
Yep.
It's impressive the scale with which you guys built stuff, but you didn't cheat. I mean, that's what's so impressive about this server. So that's a sight, man.
Unfortunately, with a lot of the newer projects that we've been getting into, just because of the amount of terrain between each places, we've had to spend countless hours and many, many days and months working on terrain, and we do use we do make use of certain world editing tools for that. But a lot of the more intricate builds that we do, I mean, we're forced to do it by hand. So whenever we can, and whenever we have players that want to help out, we like to do it as a group build, and as you said, do it legitimately. But yeah, this is the Argonath statues. This really is the first stage of Gondor, so to say. But for the most part, Gondor is untouched. Besides for this, this tour is going to focus around Rohan and the builds that we've done in the past couple months, either through build days or in terraforming whatsoever. But we can move on to our next location whenever you're ready.
What I think is really funny, and I actually like this, Lewis from the RPG Makers is here with us today, and he can vouch for me on this. We've tried many times to build statues, and they all look like, I don't know, aliens. I can't even describe. They're horrible. Horrible. And we use building aids to do that. This is by hand, and these are some of the best statues I've ever seen. Like, you guys, this is really impressive. I cannot wait to see Rohan.
But if you've taken a good look at this, I think we are ready to go on to our first location. All
right, let's do it, yeah. I'm excited now.
All right.
You got me pumped. Let's do it.
These are the tombs outside of Edoras, where I believe the kings and whatnot were buried. This is kind of a more royal place to have been buried, and you can see they're very grown over. This is actually where, if you've watched the movies or read the books, where King Theoden was buried.
I think
one
that's
of
in the
later
extended
chapters.
edition. Is what that is. Yeah.
He
Trust me,
buries his son here.
I've watched those movies a million times, so I believe it's in the extended cut, not the theatrical.
Well, if you come up here, you will. I believe you, as well as some of the RPG makers, were here for this build day. So this happened quite a few months ago, and this was one of our first major build days in Rohan. Now, one thing you'll notice right away is the gate here that opens up.
I just saw that. Hold on, can you do that again? I was in the air.
Oh, you can do it yourself. If you come over and knock on the gate, it should open up for you.
No. Oh, wait, maybe it does. I almost tore down your gate. Let's try that again.
Yeah.
That's terrific.
We actually have quite a few of those animations on our server, and they're done by one of our players on the server. He actually makes them specifically for our server. So anyway, we're going to continue through Edoras here. This is the capital city of Rohan, and quite a bit of the third movie takes place in here. You'll notice, for one thing, the building style we use, having wheat on the roofs, is something that
Second
I
movie.
think we credit ourselves.
Second movie.
Oh, yes. That's one thing we kind of credit ourselves as coming up with, is the whole idea of using wheat on the roofs of the buildings.
So it's like straw or hay, like thatched. Like, it's a great idea. For people who are curious, we were here when this was built, and we built a house somewhere. It's probably the worst looking one. And
we might pass by it on our way.
I'm gonna go there now.
We will.
But what I like about this is, it's obvious you guys use the movie style, but clearly this isn't the town from the movie. This is a town from the books, because in the movie it was like a house, like, basically.
Yeah, that house that you'd be referring to is
right
the
there,
Golden
yeah.
Hall, which we'll definitely get to very shortly. The Golden Hall, I'll explain more about when we come to it. But yeah.
This one here is the one that you guys made.
Which one?
Yeah.
Which here?
Where's our beautiful home?
The great
Right
RPG maker's
here.
house.
This one.
You're flying over it now.
Oh, see, I was attracted to it. I was like a salmon swimming upstream. I knew where my spawning ground was.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll probably recognize quite a bit of the interior then. Yeah, and so when you're ready, we can keep going. Yeah, we've still got a fair bit of Edoras to show. Alright, so we'll keep going here. If anyone else wants to point out anything along the way, feel free to take lead. Basically, our end destination in here is getting to the Golden Hall, Mediceld, where King Theoden would live.
Right?
Yeah. So yeah, we'll keep going through here. Now, like a lot of our cities, there's an immense amount of preparation that goes into this stuff. So we actually do have a lot of maps from the original creation of how these things were going to be built, and a lot of which comes with maps of where the marketplaces would be, and especially, well, this city is positioned on a hill, and this is Mediceld being placed directly on the top of the hill. Actually, something funny about Mediceld is this was done by there was a large competition that was put on for anyone who wanted to try to build Mediceld as a team, and this was the winning entry. We actually took, I believe, the Golden Hall we can find in the Atlas, and I think that's where a lot of the base came from. But that being said, in the movies, there's a lot taken from the pictures as well. From what I recall, certain sides of the buildings in the movies, though, were actually completely plain and just not shown in the films. So a lot of it had to be our own interpretation of what it looked like. Yeah, so I think we can go on to our next location.
How many houses would you say are here? Because I know every one of these houses was built from scratch because I was here that build day. And
yeah.
Can you talk about the process of the build day? Because that was kind of interesting. You guys had set up special chests filled with items because you didn't want anyone to cheat. So you had special chests, and you had to go to the chest to get the items, and you had to take the items back to build. It was crazy. How many buildings are there? And can you tell me about that build day a little bit?
Well, basically, the build days that we have, we've been evolving slowly over time. A build day is one of the newer thing that we've been doing on the server. Edoras was probably the first large-scale build day that we've done. And so since then, we've definitely changed our methods a lot. But during this specific build day, that's right, we did have chests set up for players to get their blocks and items for what they're going to build, and then they could return to their lots. And originally this place, I think some people described it as having just it almost looked like silly string everywhere. We had different color wool marking out the different styles of buildings everywhere. There are at least 100 buildings all in Edoras, and so a lot of people had to build more than one house. And again, with that, there are certain parts where you'll see more poor-looking houses and certain parts where you'll see more rich-looking houses. That was all dependent on exactly where in Edoras it is. And Bev seems confident there's about 157. So
and every single house, like if I can go down this random one right here, every single house has something on the inside. Look at that.
That's we hope so. I mean, a lot of these houses have been gone over. Quite a few times, so yeah, you should see.
Yeah, every single one. I mean, I'm just picking ones at random, and every single it's just like when we were in Hobbiton and we saw all the different Hobbit holes, and every single one had stuff in it. Every single one.
So yeah, Edoras all in all, actually the process of it, besides the build day, which only went on, of course, for a day, the actual finishing everything up probably went on for a couple weeks, definitely, maybe even a month. We are here, actually, right outside one of the most memorable forests in Middle-earth, which you'll probably recognize right away from the movies.
Fangorn Forest?
You got it. This is Fangorn, and we've got some neat facts for you as we go through here. If we want, I know Alex knows the way fairly well.
Can I go up above it? Is it going to be just massive? Oh my god.
It'll be green.
Oh yeah.
It's still rendering. It's still loading. This is.
There's a couple different locations we're going to visit here. All right, Alex, where are you?
Look at that.
My PC can't handle Fangorn.
It's still going. Still loading.
Yeah, if you have shaders that make the night.
I have to go down to like a tiny view distance.
Now, just to give you an idea, some of our staff members on Fangorn, this was their life for about, what would you say, 4 months?
No way. No way. What? So basically, for 4 months, people were just making trees?
I know. Well, to give you a more specific number, 40,000 trees would be about right. And we're not joking there. Bobo,
what? What?
Yep.
Who did you convince to do for 4 months? I would have been like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done.
Actually,
you can make your own damn trees.
One of the insane staff members that stressed over Fangorn for about 4 months, working every day, making it into what it is now. And yeah, as Bev said, all the trees aren't individually unique. What we did is we actually we'd set up a free build, and we'd have people build trees, and then the tree would be approved. And if it was approved, later on it would be moved to a specific place in which it would then be used for Fangorn.
Whoa. You had a I'm sorry, this is nonsense. This is crazy pants. You had a pre-build to make trees. Once the trees were approved, they were then planted here?
No. Once they were approved, they were moved into a separate holding tank. And then after that, once the majority of them were done, there was a couple hundred built in total, and these were built by hand, without voxel or without world edit. Once they were done, okay, about 300 apparently. Then they were individually moved in here one at a time by those staff members that I was talking about. And again, 40,000 is our estimate of how many trees had to be pasted in here. That's why I'm saying it took months.
Oh, okay. So so 300 like perfect trees were made, and then you guys took those, paced them here, and then just kept using the same 300 over and over again? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, the way it works though is when they're pasted, we had at the end people go through and fix the bottom of the trees, because of course when you paste it in, it's not just going to be automatically perfect as how you want it. We can actually start moving through here as we talk about it. Now I know Alex was leading me through here yesterday, so I'm gonna let the Neon Cat lead the way here. You might remember him from some of your previous videos.
I do.
So we will
He's
follow
delicious.
him. Oh, he is. So you can see, after this was done, people had to go through here and fix up the sides of the trees, which again was a very large process. So all in all, each tree is unique to a certain degree. But the pasting alone of trees took so long that I don't think anyone is too excited for Mirkwood, which scales to be about 6 times bigger, maybe more than that. We're really gonna have to do some convincing on who's gonna do that.
I'll do it.
Of course, grassing in here is hard to do because how dark it is, and so a lot of the grass doesn't actually stay. So you'll see it in some of the more lighter patches. But one of the first locations we're going to get to here, which I think we're coming up to, hopefully, is Entmoot, which you'll probably remember from the films or the books or whatever. Should be there any minute now, hopefully. Of course, if you were to go at any other direction, I believe this is the closest to the edge of the forest that Entmoot actually is, so...
Ooh, is this it?
Here we are.
Oh, Entmoot.
Discovery.
Yeah, and I think I forgot to point out there, one of the other people along with us on the tour, Bevs, also played a very large role in the construction of Fangorn here. I know that he worked on Entmoot quite a bit. This is the ancient gathering place of the Ents. This is where they stood here for 3 days deciding what they were going to do about Isengard, which we will get to later, which is definitely something you should look forward to. That's quite a notable in the server. But yeah, this is lore. This is taken from the lore. Mostly there was. I'm not. What type of trees are these, Bevs? Do you know right off? Birch.
Birch or elm, I believe.
Yeah, and they were 3 of them directly in the center. So this is where they would have held their council. And of course, I believe Merry and Pippin would have been here, bored out of their minds for that amount of time. And yeah, so this would have been a fairly notable place within Fangorn itself. A place where all the Ents would have went to, probably on a fairly seldom occasion, for they weren't to really like to do all too much in any sort of hurry. Yeah, and so we've got a couple more locations in Fangorn itself before we move on to our next location. So the next place we'll go to is the home of Treebeard. Alright, we here are at a little river. This will take us up to, if one of you else wants to start leading them up there, I'm having a bit of connection issues.
Just follow the stream. We'll get there. And if you're pro, you'll go under the tree.
Oh.
If you have swag.
YOLO.
Just to give you an idea, I'm not exactly on the server at the moment, but Welling Hall, yeah, is where Treebeard lives. It's also where I believe Merry and Pippin had some of the Entdrot, which significantly increased their height when they got back to the Shire. They were noticed to be much taller than all the other hobbits. It would have been some form of, I suppose, magical water or whatever Tolkien had created there for the Ents to drink. Not necessarily intended for hobbits to drink. Yeah, so I mean, this is a project done. I don't believe it took all too long, but you can see the water coming down. I believe this water actually goes and makes up for the entire the Entwash, if I'm correct, which then joins into the Anduin, which we were on earlier. So kind of these are all connected. And it would take you quite a while riding a boat down here. I know there's a lot of overgrown trees and rocks in the way as well, so trying to take a boat down there might not be the most successful thing.
Can I just make a point that I think people watching right now probably are forgetting the mountains here. We're not here when this world was formed. You guys created every single one of these, I assume, by hand, or was this done using some... Was there someone who did this by hand? Because that person's a crazy person.
I can say that we have experimented with hand-built mountains, and there are hand-built mountains on the server. But for the most part, the amount of mountains that we have to do, each mountain takes well over an hour with world editing tools. And so, unfortunately, that is one of the things that we are forced to do using those methods. I mean, you've seen, obviously, on the maps, the large mountain chain, like the White Mountains, the Misty Mountains, and it's a lot of mountains that needs to be done. Those who like doing it. Those who don't, really don't. It's a long process, and these mountains here are the ones that would be directly bordering Fangorn. So if you were to look on a map, you'd see these right away. And we've one last location to that in Fangorn before we move on anywhere else in Rohan.
I found the cobble road. So what is this?
That is actually what is known as Treebeard's Hill, where Treebeard would, I believe, commonly go up there and look around, see what he can see. I believe, though, from the highest point up there, you can actually see Treebeard along with...
What?
Yeah, I believe Treebeard's the only notable end in there, which, to be honest, I would not be able to locate for you right away. So you might have to get someone else to do that. But I know around Fangorn there are a number of Ents hidden around that are notable.
What? Whoa, hold up. Where's Treebeard? Hold up, server peeps. Where's Treebeard?
Right, Alex, go. Follow the Nyan.
Look at him! That's awesome! Oh, I see where the hill is, too. Oh, that's really hard to see him. Because it's the back of him. Oh. So all the other Ents are hidden in here as well? We won't spoil it. We'll let people find that on their own.
To be honest, I don't think we'd be able to spoil it if we tried. The size of Fangorn really makes for a difficult time finding them, even if you have them on. I think we do have a couple maps around on our website, rather on our forums, exactly where they're located. And they are tricky to find even with that. Now, with that in mind, leaving you with the fact that there's 40,000 trees in Fangorn, I suppose we can move on to our next location. All right. This is the second city we'll be visiting today. It is called Aldburg. Now, you won't recognize this from the films, and it's I'm not sure it's directly mentioned within the Lord of the Rings books itself, but it is definitely in the lore of Tolkien's world. A lot of what we have to build on the server is very, very rarely mentioned, but it is in there. And this actually is known as the capital of Rohan before it was moved to Edoras. So this would have been a fairly significant and very old city within the realm of Middle Earth. One of the only things known about it is that it had a keep in the center, and other than that, it was a fairly large place.
Is there a lore reason why it was moved that I'm unaware of?
I believe it was mainly, I think, a thing of wealth when Edoras, when the Golden Hall was built, it was moved over there. But to be honest, yeah, I think that's the main reason in it. Other than that, I think it was known to have quite a bit of cavalry here, even into the Fourth Age, potentially. There's a fair bit of stables we have built around. So yeah, if we walk up the paths here, however you want to go, you'll see that we did a very similar style in the majority of Rohan. It does vary a little bit throughout a lot of the towns. Now, we're only visiting 2 of these cities today, this being the second one. Again, when we have something that's not specifically described in the lore, it really allows for us to come up with our own interpretations of how we want things to look. And, we get to be a little more creative with things. This is only one minor example of exactly what we can do. You can see with the keep specifically, we incorporated more stone into the buildings rather than anywhere else in the entire city. There's actually a quarry here, which we'll get to as well, a quarry just outside of Aldburg, and that's kind of our reasoning for using a little bit more stone here than we did in Edoras. But yeah, if you want to take a look around the actual interior of the keep, again, we're trying to pay close attention to the lighting. That's always one of the things we like to credit ourselves with doing fairly well, is the lighting on things, and keeping it appropriate, not lighting everything up in a room with just a wall of glowstone or anything. But yeah, if you want to take a look around here, we can then move on to the quarry in Aldberg.
Ooh, what's this over here? Up this hill, this like camp?
No, this we had a river coming out here to kind of supply this little body of water down here, and this is one thing that you'll probably notice we like to incorporate, is just little elements that people can find on their own. This really actually serves no purpose in the lore whatsoever, as more of just a camping place or a kind of a viewpoint for people. And you know, you'll see this kind of stuff going around the server. You'll notice more things hidden, and you know, things that would have normally been there but aren't necessarily specifically described. And again, this is kind of in between mountains here. You can see that again. This is along the same mountain range we were just at, further south. So this is one of the farthest south cities we actually have, I believe. And that's kind of the main direction we're heading with Middle Earth right now, is seeing as we've finished the large majority of Eriador and Rohan now, we're kind of looking forward to heading south into Gondor, which is definitely going to be a very neat place to build, a lot of very memorable locations. One of the many quarries on the server, where they would have had the where they would have got the stone for some of the cities. I mean, we need to keep it realistic in some regards. All right, and so this is kind of the last stop within Aldberg. Now, again, we're not quite seeing all the buildings, so there is quite a bit left to explore for players that are new to join.
Oh yeah,
but,
wait. So you're saying that there's other cities out there that we're not going to explore?
Oh, there are. Yeah, unfortunately, with the time that we've got to tour you around, we're only getting to kind of scratch the surface of what we've done. Of course, we are showing you what we consider to be the best of the best. But that being said, there are many, as Demon just said, there are many towns and also places that are in the lore that, like, of course. There are roads from each place, so people can actually explore this without having to make use of the warps and teleports that we're doing here. So in no way is this would a tour here be ruining the experience for anyone. There's definitely a lot more to explore than what we're showing you. All right. So here we are. We're gonna follow this road here, and I'm sure you'll probably you might even figure it out before we even can see it. But no, this is something you've all seen in the movies, in the books. It serves a fairly important part of the story, and definitely a great place to build. This was actually done as a build day, and this was probably the time we had the most people on the server at the same time. We had 192 people building this, and would you want to take a guess at how long it took to build that wall?
I don't. I don't know. A day? 2 days?
This wall took 3 minutes to go up.
Whoa. Oh, that's right, because you had like 190-some people. All right. My math was a little fuzzy there. I was like, more people, more time. All right, yeah. 3 minutes?
No, this wall went up in a couple minutes, and of course, although it might have been fairly unfortunate for some people, it was definitely, this actually was again one of the earlier build days that we did, and there wasn't an overly large amount of detail work that people could work on, but the walls and everything, what we do is, with any project, we make use of like marking it all out, the height and the width of the walls with wool, and really we're fairly confident that people can fill those in, and then we can do whatever we want with it later with some of the more architectural advanced staff members and whatnot.
I'm not gonna lie to you, it's like looking at the movie. This is a stellar Helm's Deep. This is amazing.
If you want to come back over to the gate here, we can actually take a run through of exactly. I think a lot of this, for many games that you've been playing or that would have a Helm's Deep in it whatsoever, this is very, very similar. And again, Helm's Deep, while it's very, the majority of it is lore appropriate, we do take a lot of inspiration from the movies. And so if you go down there, you're going to get to the Deeping Wall, which of course is the wall that I was just talking about a second ago. But if you go the other direction, we can get to the tower as well as the I don't know what you call it, the keep. All right, so yeah, here are the windows that we saw from the front. You can kind of see how big it is when you're actually in here. It's this is a passage that takes us directly over to the tower here. So it's a bit of a long climb, so we'll just go up here. And this is, I believe, I know for a fact in the movies, and I'm fairly certain in the books as well, where Gimli went up here and
Blew the horn. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. Kind of a confidence lifter. And of course, the army here, I mean, a very slim chance of winning the battle, and it was kind of a last stand, which turned out positive in the end. But yeah, you'll definitely get a nice view from up here once you're at the top, and there's the horn there.
Blow here. Does it actually work? Can I actually blow? If you have a working horn, I'll be honest, it's amazing.
Unfortunately, we don't.
We have a client mod that makes the horn blow, but I forgot to include it in the client I gave you. Sad face.
Yeah, we've got a lot of members on the server that make client-side stuff for players to use. We've actually got an official mod pack for members that you have that's put together with the old J.R.R. Unfortunately, we're running on 1.3 at the moment, just due to the animations. And once we get everything updated, we'll be running on 1.4. But anyway, if you want to take a quick look at the view, we can take a run down here, or take a jump, or whatever you want to do. Get down here. Oh, yeah, and Maggie just pointed out something here as well. Something you will, I'm sure you'll like to see. If you go back to the main gate of Helm's Deep, this was something that I believe Mega actually implemented. This is something which is taken from, of course, the movies, but it's something we just couldn't leave out. If you come in here, wherever you are.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll let you do the honors there.
Oh, is this the dwarf tossing?
Maybe.
This is the secret dwarf tossing entrance?
Okay, everyone can't go through at once, one at a time.
Awesome.
And you can see, if you go around
Toss me! Toss me! No, I failed. I failed.
You can make the jump if you jump at the right time.
I failed.
I think many of us have quite a bit of practice doing this. This is, where we spend many hours of our days just sitting here jumping across. But no, so yeah, Helm's Deep is definitely...
You've got to toss me! That's my favorite line in the entire movie. I don't know why. Just toss me! I love it. I could watch that entire scene over and over again. Oh my goodness, what?
Alright.
What is this? What is this?
I am here just in time, I think.
Oh, you're gonna spoil the surprise if you go up.
Oh, okay, I won't go up, but I'm pretty sure I just figured it out.
And this is kind of our final showing in kind of just ruined it there, didn't I? Kind of our final showing
Spoilers.
in Rohan. Yeah, spoiler alert. Follow this road here, and you will get to the massive circular wall, which the design was actually done by Alex here, who's with us. Again, we've got a animation on the gate, which you can work. And yeah, if you want to fly around, do whatever you want. I think you'll the centerpiece to this build is definitely something that we take pride in on the server. Now, one thing that people will notice right away is that due to height restrictions, we actually had to build this place pre-corruption. So before it was taken over and turned into a place of like war by Saruman. So it's when it had trees in it, and this is it kind of returned to this state after the War of the Ring. But yeah, here you see Orthanc. Now, one thing about this is Orthanc in the books is described as being a solid black rock, and really it had no perfect architectural sides to it or anything. It was just one giant rock. Now, this is one thing that we did go from the movies on, because while that would have been cool, this is something that we felt would be best looking if it was taken from the movies.
This is amazing. Wait, hold on. Hold on. So we've so we've learned that some things like rocks and ground are done using editing tools, but a lot of your builds, I guess all of them, are done by hand. Was this a done by hand build?
Yes, it was. What I can say is when this building was started, believe it or not, this is probably one of our this is maybe our 15th Orthanc, and this is the final one that we used. Over the past couple of years, we've had many people try to build this, and actually the way that this was built, this took weeks. It was laid out by wool, so we, as I said, with a lot of the previous projects, we made the entire sculpture out of wool, and then we built the actual framework around it with different members of the community.
The design, the architecture on this building is stellar. I don't even know what to say. This is amazing.
And this is one place in the server that has specific textures designed for it. Because, we can't really incorporate the same material of this black stone into anywhere else, so... And I mean, Orthanc was described as being, like, when the Ents came in, Ents are described as being much stronger than the trolls, for instance, and they could smash down the walls around Orthanc with ease. And when they got to Orthanc, they could barely scratch it. It's massive, it's incredibly tough. There's not much that can be done to it, and of course it lasts well into the 4th Age. Of course, hopefully for more peaceful purposes. And here we are at the very top. And I'm not sure how much you'll be able to see from up here, but you may as well take a look and check. It's always fun to jump down as well when you're done. That's always quite enjoyable.
Thing.
3, 2, 1, 0.
I'm going.
I keep hitting all the edges.
Swell.
And there we go, back to the beginning of Orthanc. One thing that I'd like to tell you is that pretty much everything you've ever seen on this server before this tour, besides for Moria, has been either redone or significantly changed. All for the good, though. We've incorporated new texture, well, of course, the new texture pack that you're viewing right now, which will look ridiculously green at first. But the reason in that is Rohan grass is a much more dreary type of grass than the more lively grass that you'd see in the Shire and whatnot. So basically what I'm saying is the entire Shire has been redone over the past couple months.
Wow. Okay, so the very first video when we started here, this is the very first place we started. If they go back and compare the two, this will be totally different. Well, it will be the same, just graphically different.
Yeah, it would be different architecturally, landscaping, and
oh, wow.
many other things. We've actually made use of much more smooth terrain, and we've really tried to capture the whole feel of what we think the Shire should look like. Huh. So to start off with, we've got Bag End, which again has a plug-in on it for the door, so we can open the door. We don't need to spend much time within it actually itself, but you can take a quick look around. This is the more hobbity feel we're going with the plaster type walls. You'll see this in a lot of the Bree lands and whatnot. But if we come out this door here.
Huh.
And also, I assume you're probably in creative mode, so when you click the door, it probably breaks the block for a second.
But that's okay.
Now, when people are on the server, it doesn't actually break the block for them. It actually looks like they're knocking. So now this is something we incorporated as well, and you can see you got Alex writing here. This is, as well, what I call Gandalf Express. You can see this is Gandalf's cart, which has his fireworks in the back and everything. This is, so it's kind of giving the effect that Gandalf is visiting Bilbo and Frodo at the time. And you can, you know, climb up here and ride on it. Those are actually piston heads, the wheels on it.
I was about to say,
Sorry.
only Minecraft would have square wheels.
Exactly. And this would be the party tree. So now we're going to continue down here into Hobbiton. Now you're just seeing Bag End. And so, believe it or not, although it seems like a farther distance, Hobbiton is actually, it's just down the road here a little bit. And we took elements of the all three, the Atlas, the movies, and the lore to build this. A lot of what we're trying to capture is a very green feel to the Shire. There are elements from the Atlas and the lore, man. Also, for a more in-depth kind of experience, we also labeled a lot of the. We actually did research on who would have lived in Hobbiton and labeled the Hobbit holes with those names, to give it a more rounded kind of feel. You'll still notice our significantly large fields in places, as well as incorporating new little features such as scarecrows and whatnot, trying to make it as in depth and detailed as we can. And so yeah, there's definitely a lot more to see if you've been on the server before all this the revamping process. There's a lot more to see. So yeah, this is just kind of a quick snapshot of what the Shire looks like now. We've kind of moved on from the bulky, square sand-looking buildings. But yeah, we can move on to Bree as well. So let me know when you're ready to do that.
Yep, let's do it.
All right, so we're gonna follow this path here. We will be at Bree in about a couple seconds, hopefully. It's set back a little bit just so you can kind of get the feel. But you'll notice that, again, Bree is something that we've drastically changed. Bree's always been the place on the server, which we actually have changed many times. Kind of a associated with a hub. We're a hub place. We'll always decorate it for events and all that kind of stuff. But we've got another animation on the door. And going into it, you'll see we've got Bree is actually the only really recorded, one of the only places where men and hobbits would live side by side in Middle-earth. And so it kind of takes elements from more human-looking buildings as well as taking elements from the Shire and combining them. So you'll see up on Bree Hill, which is back there, you'll see hobbit holes as well as all the buildings. And believe it or not, the entirety of Bree, which has many buildings, was done in less than 2 weeks for the most part.
And this is the new version, because I remember last time we were here, there was a field of, I think, wheat that extended forever and ever. Is that still here, or did you guys?
We still have lots of big fields in the Shire as well as Bree. We have the fields back on the hill. I suppose, unfortunately, to some people, the massive fields have been taken out, but they do still exist in the back of Bree, which you can see. They are of course scaled down. We are also avoiding using perfectly rectangular fields and kind of going for a more realistic approach on how the fields would have been made.
Yeah, it actually does look more real in this version of it compared to the last one.
Yeah.
Before it was impressive. This seems more like a living city than just it was huge and things were done really well. This actually seems like it's a real town, which is even more so
That's one
impressive.
of the main things we're trying to incorporate is how to make the town feel lively, exactly what you're saying. We've got Marketplace, which is as cramped and busy as we can make it, which you can see here. And you'll see everything in Bree from jails to courts to, of course, the Prancing Pony to a kind of an education place to an auction house to the town hall to the multiple gatehouses. There's a lot in Bree to look at, and that goes with a lot of the other places we've been to. And yeah, and as Matt just said there, Bree, again, has a curse on it. Bree has been redone about 4 times since you've seen it. This is hopefully, and it's been like this for a while now, hopefully the last time we will ever need to touch it, or at least for a significant amount of time. Alright, so here we are in our final location. This is Rivendell. This is a place that you have been to before, but once again, like the previous places, or some of the previous places we've shown you, it has been redone by our friend here, the Tiger, Bevs for Bros. He has full credit on this reconstruction. So here we go. We can take a look at this.
This is amazing.
Just follow the path.
This is amazing.
Yeah, one thing you'll notice probably right away is the colored trees, which is a result of the biomes that we've used. We've actually had a couple people come on and not use the texture pack and complain that we're not fixing our biomes properly. So, yeah,
so has the design of the buildings changed at all? Because it looks almost like dead on to what I remember it being before, yet it seems different. And I don't know if it's just the trees or like because there's so much more detail now. Yeah.
The old buildings, a lot of the layout is similar, but the terraforming around it has been redone, and the actual structures themselves have a much more elven look. Just to give you some give you an idea. The last one, which of course, if you take a look at the old video, was mainly stone slabs and whatnot, using then wooden fences to hold them up, and then just a lot of glowstone and glass and stuff like that.
Right.
So, so it still looks fairly decent right now, but it's going to be
I found the one ring, and it's, I guess, the 2 ring. Oh, now I have it. Now I have. That's not good.
And this would be council. The council run. This is where the decision is made to destroy the ring in the fires of Mount Doom, and so yeah, if you want to take a look around at Rivendell, this will conclude our tour.
You have my turtle, and my Nyan Cat, and my Bob the Builder, who I don't know what accent that was.
And that's one final thing you should look at is you can see some people using them now. Would someone want to give Jesse?
Are you guys smoking pipes? Now I have a million pipes.
Yeah.
Hold up.
So now take one and then hold right click.
I have a ring. Can I use it? Can I go invisible? Because that'd be amazing.
In the next update, we'll do that.
Nice. Okay, and then I have a pipe.
And right click.
Oh my goodness.
And that was developed by our turtle friend over here.
That is wonderful. What is this? Take the sugar.
Use the sugar.
Yeah.
Oh God.
That is, unfortunately, that is not something you'll be seeing when you first log on to Minecraft Middle Earth or anything. But
I'm gonna smoke this pipe because this is crazy, man.
You might want to drink the milk.
Wow, moon sugar. Stay off of it, kids.
So yeah, and there's a lot of stuff which I haven't gotten to show you on this tour specifically, but hopefully in the future we'll get to show you. So yeah, that pretty much brings it to the tour.
Wow, thank you guys. This has been amazing. Again, I'm completely blown away. Every time I come here, you show me things that I have never seen before in any Minecraft server. So all I can say is I cannot wait to see what happens in the coming year, because I have a feeling it's going to get even better.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll be back in 6-7 months or so once we get a good start on Gondor.
Minister is going to be tons of fun.
Yeah.
I can
we'll probably
imagine
for a build day or something as well. Maybe.
Oh yeah. That'd be great. And so how can people get in contact with you if they want to be part of this server?
Megan, handle that or?
So the best way is to just go to our site. So you go to mcmiddleearth.com, all one word. We have forums, and there's a link to apply for the whitelist. It's super easy to apply for the whitelist now.
And remember, they need people to build trees, so...
Actually, right now, we're at a stage where people can be a little more creative. We've actually got a couple free builds up to houses for Fornost, and so that's definitely something people can look forward to. And if we're done that by the time that's done, it's just all the closer to Gondor. So we're definitely looking forward to that. So yeah, we look forward to hopefully seeing plenty of new faces after this video is released.
All right, thank you guys. Minecraft Middle-earth, mcmiddleearth.com is the website. You can go there, you can sign up, you can look and see what they're doing, and you can be just as impressed as I am. Thank you guys for having me. This was a blast, and to all of you out there, to be continued. Advertise like shameless whores. Lewis, are you a Ghostbuster? What the hell is that outfit?
I am a Ghostbuster.